Alright, so got a live video going. I've been doing actually YouTube videos, my fly tying, and I started to tie one today, and for some reason the video shut off. So I figured I'd come here and finish it. I had a great idea and I just wanted to really do it. So the dog ran by and the dog left a tumbleweed of hair, and I saw that and I thought, ooh, that's something I can use for fly tying. It's called dubbing, when you roll it onto the string and then wrap it around the hook, and I'll show you how that works in a second. I like doing these videos. The only reason I don't like doing them here on Facebook is because it's vertical recording instead of horizontal, and I like to be able to show a better version of that, of the fly tying, by doing it horizontally. So this fly that I'm going to tie is called a caddis fly. It's a fly that lives in the river when it's kind of a worm. It lives underwater and it builds a shell around itself of sand and things that are on the bottom of the ground, of the river, and then whenever it's time, it hatches and floats to the top and flies away. Then it comes back later, lays an egg or several, and then it dies, and the fish will eat it either as a worm or as it's ascending to the top of the water, or as it's sitting on top of the water laying eggs, or after it lays back on the water and dies. Several steps of that. There's a fly tying book called Sex, Death, and Fly Fishing, and it's all about, well, a good portion of it is about the life of the fly. Anyway, so on my Facebook video, my YouTube video where I had started it and it cut me out, I decided, I had gotten started on it, and I decided to restart on here. So this is where I'm at with the fly. So I started with, let me zoom it in a little bit. This is just a Walmart hook. I've got brown thread. I've got some deer hair tied in for a tail here already, and I was just getting ready to tie in a feather. So I've got this gray feather. I'm going to rip off the barbs on one side. What that'll do is it'll let you tie it around the hook without it being too bulky on the bottom side where it's laying against the hook. That should be enough right there. I'm going to rip off some on this side because this webbed part is not good to have sticking out, so I'll take that off, and then I'll trim the shaft of the feather like that. And I'm going to start with the small side to the back so that it gets bigger as it goes to the front. This is a pretty easy tie-in. I'm actually going to trim this little bit of the end of the feather off as well. I'll make you something, Andy. Alright, that's one thing I do like about this version instead of YouTube, because I can see people messing with me. Mess with them right back. He said shaft. Yeah, so I'm going to tie this down. If it'll go down, there we go. I said go down. And I need to stop that. I got students watching, I bet. Okay. I'm going to work my way back in front of this feather. I think I'm going to tie in a piece of wire also. I've got this small wire that I pulled out of a piece of electrical. I think that's where it came from. Tie that in as well. Back in. Okay, I'm behind it again. Alright, now's the dubbing part. So this is the dog hair dubbing that I found. And it won't take very much. I could probably make 3 flies out of this. Take a portion of it. It's still a lot. Hang on just a second. Let me get more of that out of there. That's probably good. So I'm going to use that, but first I'm going to wax my thread. So I've got this bow wax. bowstring wax. Yeah, I know, Andy. I'm on it today. On it. Man, I'm full of them today. Not full of it, full of them. Alright. So, take the dog hair, the dubbing, quote unquote dubbing, and you kind of web it out like this. You put it under the string, and you just roll your fingers, and eventually it rolls onto the thread like that. I'll wet my fingers a little bit so that it binds down a little better. And you always do it the same direction. Once you get it where you want it, then you just roll forward. I'm going to go in front of it like that. You just keep going around, and it eventually, oops, I hooked. No, I didn't. I thought that I wrapped it around the point of the hook. You just keep going, and every now and then you just got to keep twisting it around so it stays intact. Keep going around, all the way till you get to the front. I think that's probably pretty good right there. That's about what I'm going for. Okay. Then I'm going to take my feather. I've got a hackle plier here. This is for holding the feather. It just makes it easier. I'm going to wrap this around the hook. This actually is not going to stand out too much more than the hair does, but just go around and around a couple times. My wife just came home. And she's watching my video. Sounds like. Alright, so I'm tying this on. And now I can break that off. Although, I don't like to break them because sometimes they break and come untied. There. So I'm done with that. That is a very buggy fly right there. Kind of cool looking though. Now, you take the wire part, the wire you can see, and you go the opposite direction of the feathers. And you kind of wiggle it through. And it goes across the feather. That protects the feather. It actually also helps hold the hair on. Also, just keep going around. Go a couple of turns in front. And now I'm going to take that, move the hair back out of the way. Make some turns to tie that on. Hey.
Did you see these?
Oh, wow. My wife just came home, and she was looking at the veggie bin at how big the rainbow chart is. Okay, so take several turns here to build up the head. This is a very thin thread, so it takes several turns. Go back a little bit further. Okay, now I'm going to take my deer tail again. I'm going to take, so these are a little bit fatter than the other ones. I'm actually going to trim this off shorter because I don't want it to be too long. Okay, that'll be good. So I'm going to tie that on. Okay, I'm going to fold this back. I'm going to tie it forward more. I'm going to get it close to the front there. I'm going to pull that back now and tie over the top again. There. Okay, I'm going to do my half hitch over that one. Half hitch again. Now I'll tie it off. Tie off is string over the finger one time, under the same spot, over the finger again, next to it. Then you trim off your bobbin, and then you go through the loop, over and grab the string and pull it through, put it back where it was, go through the loop again, grab the string, pull it through, back where it was. Then you can use a pointed object of some kind, go here, pull it down, and put it in place. You can break off the string, or you can tie it. I prefer to tie it. I just happened to break it that time. Okay. After that, I take my clear nail polish, put a little underneath there on both sides, not too much, clean it off, and that'll soak into the threads. Okay, I've got a mustache brush. I'm just going to brush these back. Okay, now that is deer hair and feather and dog hair. These feathers are a little bit too long, but I think they'll be okay, because once it's in the water it'll just look buggy. So that's my finished fly. Dog hair and deer hair and probably a duck feather caddis. So hope you enjoyed watching that. And I've been making several videos, so if you catch me and want to see me tie some flies, you can check it out. You can also check me out, Quiet Man 28 on YouTube. I've got maybe 6 videos there that I've made, so check it out, see what I'm doing. Thank you for watching, you guys, and everybody that I see there, I miss a lot. So good to see you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.